They told America it would be a quick war. A few months, maybe a year. But Vietnam didn't just bleed the US military. It bled the soul of a generation. This is the story of a war that began with whispers and ended in helicopters fleeing rooftops. In 1955, Vietnam was split in two, the Communist North, backed by the Soviets and China, the capitalist South, backed by the United States. The US didn't want another Korea. So they sent money, then advisors, then soldiers. By 1968, there were over 500,000 American troops in Vietnam, and many didn't know why they were there. But the Vietnamese knew exactly why they were fighting. They were fighting to push out another foreign power, just like they had against the French, the Chinese, and the Japanese. The enemy was invisible. The terrain was unforgiving. And the Viet Cong, the communist guerrillas, knew how to vanish into jungles, villages, and tunnels. The Americans dropped more bombs on Vietnam than they had in all of World War II. They used napalm, a fire that sticks to skin. They sprayed Agent Orange, poisoning forests and generations. Still, the enemy kept coming. Then came the Tet Offensive in 1968, a surprise attack during a supposed truce. American forces pushed the Viet Cong back, but something changed forever: public opinion. People watched the brutal footage on TV. They saw villages burned. They saw children crying, running naked from fire. They saw body bags coming home. And they asked, greater than what are we fighting for? In America, protests exploded. College campuses burned with outrage. Soldiers returned to a country that didn't welcome them, but blamed them. Morale collapsed. Even soldiers began to question the mission. Then came the My Lai massacre. Hundreds of unarmed Vietnamese civilians, mostly women and children, killed by US troops. It shocked the world and shattered America's moral standing. In 1973, the US finally signed a peace agreement. But fighting didn't stop. 2 years later, on April 30, 1975, North Vietnamese tanks rolled into Saigon. And the world saw one of the most iconic images in history: American helicopters evacuating desperate people from the embassy rooftop. The war was over. America had lost. Over 58,000 American soldiers dead. More than 2 million Vietnamese civilians killed. And a generation left scarred, not just in body, but in belief. But Vietnam wasn't just a battlefield. It was a mirror. It forced the world to ask, when is power justified? When is sacrifice worth it? And can a superpower lose, not in numbers, but in purpose? This is Trivia Tales, where the wars we remember are the ones we never truly understand.